FG banks plan special ID cards for senior citizens. APC caucus and NEC meets July 10th and 11th. More multinational manufacturers planning to exit Nigeria, says man.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome pioneer positive force member, dancing queen of the 80s, non-conformist, Afrobeat historian in her right, and long-standing member of the multiple award-winning all-female show Your View, Omoyeni, Yeni, Anipulapo Kuti, aka YK Power! Ginger!
Take it.
Today we'll go here.
Hey, I don't read you.
Are you sure?
I'm not here to answer questions, I'm here to drink.
We're in trouble today.
Wait till your age.
I was close now.
I
said 1975.
He said 73. He said 75. Fellas wasn't even born till 75.
So will I drink half?
You go drink. Take. Make I help you. Russian.
No be half.
Which half? You will make me drink. I'll give you a hint.
Lights in no. Nepa Road. Nepa Road. Nepa Road in Abeokuta.
First of all, my brain cannot memorize everything.
A big black bug.
A big black dog.
Bug. A big black bug.
Oh, sorry. A big.
It don't start.
Ọmọ ọmọ fẹlá. Ọmọ Aníkúlá Pókùtì. Wọ́n rò pé kí ni kékeré yìí.
It's by Audison. It's not by Audison.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women.
That is speaking. Our president is there, and there they'll be offering prayers for the Eid Mubarak, and to pray that God answers all our prayers as we pray for the nation and pray for a better country. So we'll be going in and out from that to be seeing what's going on there at Durham Barracks. Okay, back to our review. Papers, let me take the major headlines. So World Bank is saying that poor Nigerians will hit over 100 million if Nigeria fails to provide palliatives after the subsidy removal. According to World Bank, they said that 89.8 million Nigerians were poor as of the beginning of this year, January. They also noted that since the subsidy removal, between January to now, about 7.1 million Nigerians have become poor. And this projection is pushed forward towards the end of the year. By the end of this year, over 100 million of Nigerians will become poor if government fails to compensate vulnerable citizens after this fuel subsidy removal. So this is based on the data coming from the World Bank. Okay?
Yes.
Another story in Punch?
Yes, I was going to take the story. We mixed the story from The Nation, and it was talking about the fact that there's going to be a new implementation starting from next month where 1,000 naira is going to be charged for every vehicle to prove ownership. So it's POC, proof of ownership. And the unveiling of the policy took place at the Baguda Kauto Press Center in Alausa, Ikeja, and the Permanent Secretary of Ministry of Transportation Abdul Hafiz Toriola said that the certificate is going to help to, is a requirement that will be repaid every year, 1,000. Based on ability to track real-time status and guarantee the integrity of all vehicles registered in Nigeria. This is in addition to all the other registrations that we are currently doing, and it will start being implemented from next month.
Question.
covers it.
No, but we already have vehicle license. We already have registration.
That's what I'm
that
saying. You
you're
have
supposed to
vehicle
regularize.
license.
I know this.
You have insurance.
Yes, you know this POC you do it once when you get the car.
When you're buying
So now you have to keep renewing.
So
They want to make.
what I'm asking is vehicle license. Who does that prove?
All right,
owns the
we'll
car?
get the
that you can
experts
drive.
to give Senate President of Snubbing region in selection of personnel staff. Tinubu Governor's article reps Speaker Fayemi, NILDS GG, hail Muslim faithfuls. Leading Nigeria, one of the hardest life challenges, says Buhari. Drivers block Enugu State over drive suit seeking to stop investigation into the death of 14-year-old student. Elections, EU recommends reforms of INEX and 5 other areas. ACF urges arm of government to restore public confidence in rule of law. Okay, so few days to the result, let me take the major headline. Few days to the resumption of the 10th Senate, Northern senators elected under the APC have intensified their protest and lobbying for position of majority leader. Some senators have said that they were actually worried that they're dissatisfied by saying that that it would be unfair if the leadership is not picked around the northern area, according to them, because he said there'll be further dissatisfaction in the already polarized red chamber. So been set where the campaign coordinator of the Senate president is often named as majority leader. He wondered why the dynamics should be changed and a senator with a lesser cognitive experience be considered or picked. So I guess lobbying is ongoing at the Senate as it begins to as it resume in the next few days. Okay.
I wanted to take the commercial bus drivers plying the Enugu Ukwogu Okpi Unsuka road yesterday, blocked the Okpi Agu section of the road with their vehicles in did I get
Well done, yes.
in protest against kidnapping. They said that they started about 7:30 a.m. and they left hundreds of road users stranded. They blocked the road. They said they're complaining. Answer them. One of their people just got kidnapped last week. Their president or their road users got kidnapped last week. That newsmen should please I tell the government that save us.
Do something. Yes, intersection. The roadblocks are not working. Yeah, they need security officials to come in and read the place and help them.
So I want to tell you a story about the telcos are going to hike prices. They said that they had already made a request last year that they wanted to increase the prices by 40%, which they didn't scale through, but that we cannot continue to subsidize the cost of goods and services, especially fixing the price for telcos to deliver the services they are delivering in Nigeria. That we all know that after the new president, I'm sure, got into power with the devaluation or floating of the FX and devaluation of the Naira, they are planning to peg text messages prices at 4 Naira to 5 Naira as the price cap, and for calls to go from 6 Naira to 8 Naira. Experts that were going to remain anonymous said that the telco sector, they've been holding on to the prices and dealing with the cost increase based on the fact that it's a volume-based business. But there are many things that they are, their business needs a lot of consistent upgrading within the tech space, and they need to keep investing in the business, and that will cost money, and that they need to, that they cannot continue with this pricing structure. They need to increase price hike, and subscribers should be expectant.
Okay, Vanguard. Use subsidy savings to lessen suffering, World Bank tells federal government. Jostling for principal offices divides senators. Eid al-Kabir, IG orders patrols of highways and worship centers. Governing Nigeria, one of the hardest challenges in life, says Buhari. Demolitions, temper justice with mercy, Obi pleads with governors. Naval officers invade Ondo community over murder of colleague. Nigeria's presidential polls not transparent or inclusive, says EU. CBN limits transaction via contactless payments to 50,000 naira per day. And I'm working day and night to solve Nigeria's challenges, says Tinubu. Okay?
Yes, so this is a very painful story. So in Akure, a naval officer who was driving by just mistakenly splashed water on a cyclist and a passenger. And then he came down to apologize to them that it was a mistake. They were not having it, so they decided to mob him. So one of them picked up iron and hit him on the head. He fell down and he died instantly. You know, so some youths came out and they were trying to chase the hoodlums who did that. But after a while, the naval personnel, I think they got the report to them that one of their persons had died, and they came, you know how they come now, like reprisal, they came full force. And they were ransacking shops, you know, a lot of people were afraid. Young people were running out of the environment, yes, in fear of being arrested. And they are saying that they must fish out the hoodlums that killed this naval officer. I don't know how angry we can get that somebody made a mistake, came down, and that's why some people will make those splashed. Yes, splashed water.
It didn't hit him.
Yes, so just
splashed water. Ordinary water.
And then they decided to kill him. He came down to apologize. So I don't know how angry Nigerians get.
Yeah, we're really angry people.
It's even misplaced anger.
And what
Exactly.
are we looking at?
All right, our former President Muhammadu Buhari has said that leading a country like Nigeria is one of the hardest challenges in life. Buhari stated this in his Sallah message via his statement issued by Malam Garba Shehu, saluted Muslims even as he wished them a happy Eid, and to those on pilgrimage, he also greeted those on pilgrimage, wished them Hajj Mabrur and safe return home. According to him, leading a country like Nigeria is one of the hardest challenges in life, and I urge Nigerians to fully support the Tinubu administration to succeed. Leadership is a challenging task that demands the sacrifices and support of the citizens. So it's good to hear our president.
Can I comment?
Please.
Please go ahead.
You knew it was hard. You went the second time. You know how to do it, or you don't. Don't tell me that it's hard. I don't want to know that, because
Everything
you
is
went
hard.
you applied for the office.
Well, our new president has said, "Don't pity me." I will never forget.
I'm ready to do the work.
Yeah, don't pity me. So hopefully he will be telling us it's hard.
We are here.
Hopefully he won't tell us it's hard in the next 4 years.
We are here.
In his Twitter, pleading with the governors, making a case for the victims, saying that a lot of Nigerians are facing enough hardship, and that while he knows that some of these buildings did not get the proper approvals, he says some of these buildings were built, but we know the buildings were built in tactical collusion with local government and a few government and government tamper justice with mercy, understanding that there's housing deficits. There are a lot of these people, victims, are going through several other hardships, and their investment should not now be demolished within this period. I was a bit concerned because, you know, people would feel like when the way the headline came out, I was like, is to hurt another person, like the way the house has been on the pipeline. I think that all governors right now, from everything we are reading, should please, can we pipe low on?
So, but if you demolish, it's probably because you're either blocking drainages or something important that affects other people. So you as a person,
cannot manage.
Cannot manage
Every other person is being affected by this, your one house. So we look at it both ways. But I guess you're right. There should also be compassion because, hey, so that's where leadership is. We now decide which choices you make. It's hard choices.
Subsidy is hitting.
Different things are hitting at the same time.
Anyway, I think it's a good time to actually have a conversation on how the subsidies affect.
Yes. We're not the only ones that
Because if I see you, that you are giving me this hardship, tightening your belt, my dear, I'm tightening my belt too.
Yes.
All right. Let's go on the break. When we come back, we'll move on to our hot topic. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities, right here within this beautiful cocktail we call the Black Table.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's your view. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have Made Kuti in the view. It's still 7 of 7, and we've been doing a whole lot of protesting. The only thing that remains is just to carry placard.
It's about 5 of 7, to be honest. Because, ask your question. I have so much to speak about once we finish.
We will not give you the time because it's 7 of 7.
I will make the time now. He said he will not ask questions about science.
No.
Neuroplasticity.
And based on
He asked a question that was subjective about high life, and he did not finalize his answer about a Kuti question where there are only 3 of us
editor, scratch this part
that could
out.
have possibly composed the music.
Editor, scratch this part out.
Stupidity is an act of ignorance.
Hey God, Made.
Was composed by which Kuti?
Femi Kuti.
Is that a final answer?
God, I'm Shion Kuti. No, wait, Femi Kuti.
You said
Femi
your
Kuti. Wait.
You can't be allowed.
No, you've
You
not asked me
can't guess
anything.
everyone.
You've not asked me anything. So my final answer.
No. All I have to say is this show is really about drinking.
Yeah, that's the whole idea.
The questions don't matter.
That's the whole
Justice
idea.
is out the window.
We throw caution to
We
the
have
wind
no
right
morals here.
on the 7 of 7.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review
and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's your view. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities, right here within this beautiful cocktail we call the Black Table. So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities, right here within this beautiful cocktail we call the Black Table.
Thanks for staying with us. Today we shall be celebrating, opening our phone lines to celebrate our Muslims, brothers and sisters who are celebrating Sallah today. It'd be great to hear from you. What are you doing? How are you celebrating it? How many rams are you killing? Are you killing rams or chicken or cow? Or what are you doing to celebrate it? You can call us on 081-270-536-8709-390-76948. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read the tweets. We'd like to find out what you are doing today on Sallah Day. I know there's prayer in the mornings, right? After prayers, and then it's time for them to kill the rams and celebrate and share. I remember growing up, that was a big part of Sallah. It wasn't just about eating the ram. It's about killing the rams, cutting them in parts, and then sharing it across. I remember I used to go to different houses, and they'll give you 20 naira to say thank you. You know, back then, that's how it was. I don't know how if it still happens now, because if people still do that kind of sharing, I don't know. Nima is not here
honestly,
to tell us.
culture has changed, because growing up, I grew up in Mile 2, at least from when I was 7 years, and you have a lot of Muslims because it's one building. My mom will say, do you want to stay here where one building, 16 landlords? That's every building has 16 landlords, and there are 3. So within that place, you have like 16 people that some of them are Muslims and they always celebrate. We always have like 3 families killing ram. And there was never a party. They didn't used to do canopy and have music and there's band playing. It was a kill the ram
And share.
and they cook a little and share too. We get a plate and then we get raw meat. Simple. A lot of people give us raw meat. But now we're having more parties than before. The parties now we're inviting, it's like a birthday party, it's like a celebration. That's religious, very family gathering. That's we're just doing this as a religious moment. So I think it's a culture shift, and we are moving with the culture. Some of us that we like ram meat, we are happy to move with the culture. I was already every Ilea I go to what's her name? Morenike's house. I know that one I don't even need to call. We shall go. When I saw her at your party, I said, you know that I'm coming, Abi. So and I think it's also important in building interreligion bond. So I don't mind that the culture has changed. I'm happy that I can now easily go to my friends. I know of Christians go to their Muslim friends' house and they eat. And my staff, I was asking them, do you have any Muslim friends? They don't have. I said, why won't you have a Muslim friend? But that means you're keeping your circle so close. You cannot relate with what people are going through. I think it's a good platform for me to share that information. Your friendship should not be just tied to the people that you are familiar with. You should have friends that are not
cut across.
Muslims,
God does not
Hausa,
have any religion.
Traditionalists.
God has no religion. Now we give our religion.
Leave VCO.
But it's true.
Universe.
The universe has got no religion.
So tell me, what are you doing for today? Salah. How was the Salah mean to you?
This has been my best Salah yet in the history of Salah celebrations.
For real?
Yes.
How so?
I got a gift. And I'm really excited about it. So usually there was a time my husband and I would go visit some of his Muslim colleagues in the office then. But after a few years, we stopped. Everybody just got busy and all that. So normally what I do during Salah celebrations is after the show, if I'm on the show that day, I just go home to my house and I don't have much Salah friends. But I realized that I have a lot of Muslim customers. You people are seeing me this morning. Muslim customers. I will not give you discount if you don't send me round meat, But I've always been open. I did a training some time ago and I had some Muslim people come for my training. And I've always been open to, just teaching everybody because I believe that we are here. We are supposed to have love. We're supposed to be united. And now that they are celebrating, I know that most of them celebrate with us when we're doing our own Christmas celebrations and all of that. It's a time to remind ourselves that we are one, irrespective of our religious differences. Right. It's still, all of us will still die the same way. Nobody came here with anything. Nobody will go back with anything. Absolutely. We should, enforce that love within. I personally feel that religion has actually divided us more than it has brought us together. But I'm happy with the generation that is coming up. We're beginning to see where the loopholes are to say this is not who we're meant to be here. And I'm excited about it. So happy Barakah de Salah to all our Muslim brothers and sisters. Muslim customers, send my meat.
I think.
Yeah, so it's Eid Mubarak. And now, I know the person that sent us the meat, for whatever reason, they are yet to send white queso. So hopefully with this TV, we can tell them to please send the white queso because they had given the ladies...
they shouldn't send it again, please. Since you just send it before.
The first time. We are vexed. People on your behalf, we are vexed. But I think, really, I like the idea that of sharing. I like the idea that the beauty of this season is to share. And I have a Muslim neighbor who is also doing something, and hopefully we are going to go there and share and just celebrate with them. And I like the fact that I'm going to be going around today also to share and give and sacrifice. Right, let me come to you. I know that, what are your plans for Salah today?
I'm visiting a friend who is a Muslim.
Yes.
And
Since when you crossed?
Since the beginning of this year, I decided that...
Are you vegetarian now?
No, I'm not a vegetarian. It's just that the older you get, the less your
Yeah.
Meat is not good for you. So
Yeah.
I just decided, since I wasn't even really a big meat eater anyway.
Right. But interestingly, Momo doesn't eat meat anymore. I mean, Momo, when she came to my house, she told me that initially when she started, she was taking meat, but she now said we should stop giving her meat. So she only takes fish because she couldn't chew eat anymore because of her age.
Yeah.
But just
Well,
I know your own. I know
I
it's not
like
because of
meat.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Meat
I
is
have
actually
a brother who doesn't eat
healthiest
meat,
thing.
and he's in his 50s. He looks like he's in his 20s,
Yeah.
and he hasn't eaten meat for over 20 years.
Oh,
I'm like, look, I'm not going to eat meat.
Yeah.
I can make
Let
that
me-
sacrifice.
Yeah, let me.
Burama here is the leanest and
Yes,
best
ram
meat.
is the leanest meat.
Yeah, I don't mind lean meat,
Yeah.
but
The regular.
Let me take the call. I'll come to you. I have a call. Good morning, Festus. Thanks for calling.
Good morning, everybody.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Well, you are doing great.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I cherish your TV station.
Thank you, sir.
You are gradually becoming #1, if not already. You know, quality staff. I saw Sallah Yekun delivering lecture. I saw Veronica. I saw Michael Poche. You know, they have invested on you people.
Thank you, sir.
In fact, I appreciate the TVC
Thank you, sir.
for woman development capacity, and then your program, the other programs in the morning with Onyika or
Wake Up
all
Nigeria.
of you like that.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you,
You are
sir.
doing great.
Thank you, sir.
I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Keep the
Festus.
flag flying.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Fantastic. You're going to
Happy
something.
Salah to everybody.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We are receiving. So, I was going to say something, and you see, it was not planned, but when this Ram matter that BC was celebrating, that we used to thank the Lord for our story. Mariah, as head of deputy director of programs, always got a RAM, and whenever Mariah got a RAM, putting you out, because I know you don't like people saying this, but you are an amazing leader. And I was thinking about it that really, even worst come to worst, I'll eat Nima's ram or I'll eat Mariah's ram, and Nima's ram or I'll eat Mariah's ram. And she always shared her ram. People say it after stepped down, because the ram was still coming, but people did not get to eat the ram the way they were eating it under your administration.
that offensive. Sacrifice would be a better word.
All right. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll talk more on that word sacrifice. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome the one who can make time stand still forever, Mr. Kelechi Amadi. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, my brother.
You love that intro, have you?
It was great.
Okay,
Thank you.
We try like that.
Thank you.
Now my question, which I feel is a cheap question.
Oh, go ahead.
What does ISO stand for?
That is it. I think I'll drink.
No, you're joking.
I'm not joking.
Kelechi Amadi. No. Shay, you didn't whine me. You're whining me now.
I think I'll drink.
Huh?
No problem.
Okay.
I've always known it as ISO. I never bothered to know what it means. I know what it means, but I never bothered to know what the acronym is. Tell me the brand of camera that I use, so much so that I even became an ambassador. That's very easy. It's out there.
It's supposed to be,
Yeah. I just said, let me give you this one as a token of my appreciation.
Sony.
Drink!
I'm not done. You did not say final answer.
Final answer.
You did not ask me if that was my final
You don't
answer.
have any choice again. It's only
Nikon.
how many cameras do they have? My
Nikon.
friend to drink. I gave you a very easy something.
Nikon now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the part of the show where I really have a lot of fun. Why? I'm highly competitive. I'm not going to ask you regular questions with me. I'm not well. So you're going to be as nuts as I am today, yes?
Ready.
Alrighty. Sorry. Can you put it down here, please? King Dion versus Tony. Oh, thank you. See all the Lee Kuku things you do. They make me... Oh no. Who said this?
I'm not to every day. Closer. Girl, I want to make you closer.
Okay.
Upslading closer.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much fun have you had on the show?
11, 10.
11?
10, yes.
11? Now we're going to terminate the show. Please, my producer, this is where we're cutting it. Cameraman, cut it. You don't cut. Okay, I'm just kidding.
The hottest music videos.
Check it out. Let's go.
Topping the charts. Right here on the Max World Chart Show.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked, and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Staying with us, we're still discussing the celebrations, the Muslim celebration today. However, there's one word that sticks out, which is the word sacrifice. And the reason why this word is so important this season is because of all Nigerians having experiences, especially since the removal of fuel subsidy and the floating of the naira. Nigerians have complained of hardship. And federal government is asking Nigerians to sacrifice. We even read from the president's speech today saying that we should still hold on in these hard times because they are planning, working day and night to ensure the reviving of our economy. But what are your own thoughts on this? How do we sacrifice as people, and how does government also sacrifice on their end? How do we sacrifice to ensure that we suffer this season together in hopes that there will be a silver lining in future and we'll have a brighter future for our economy? What are your thoughts on this sacrifice, and what domestic choices are you making, sacrificially making, to change, to reduce things or to improve things so it's not so hard on your family? That's the conversation I want to have right now. Call us on 081-270-53687. 09139076948. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. I was telling you guys, was it yesterday or 2 days ago, that during the break that, you know, even in my house, we had to have a conversation. My husband has been trying to get us to stop using heater for a long time, but I have refused. But we had to have a meeting, like, guys, you know what? We can't continue like this. We can't afford it. Because the NEPA bill came last month, and Mr. Brown was shouting everywhere, scattering, and it's disconnecting heaters, saying we cannot continue this. Obviously, you know, if we look at it, we cannot sustain a 5-bedroom house with 5 heaters in the bathrooms. It can happen. So we're now having to stop that. Even the air conditioners now, I say, okay, which ones do we need? So what he's done is that there's a living room outside my kids' room and the auntie's room. He said, okay, turn on the AC in the living room. It will enter your room, all the rooms. Everybody will be all right. Just open the doors. Because we can't have everybody, you know, to put on air conditioner. So these are little sacrifices that we're having to make, especially in this season, because the money is not out there like it used to. We thought it used to be.
My sister, this is reality check for everybody.
Right.
You know how you think that you're a rich woman?
Yes. That you have it.
That you have it. After I bought fuel a few times, I just had to ask myself, BC, what more can you do that will bring resources? Because it is not adding up. The bell I was ringing in my sitting room the other day to sell my goods. It's not clear eye that I used to ring that, you know. And I had to have a conversation with the kids. Like, we cannot afford to be wasting anything in the house. Take the little you can eat. You must clear your plates. And then if you need more, you can ask for. Luckily, our master chef in the house, my son, says he's on a diet. So he's cutting down some of his meals. He's doing water fasting between and all of that. He says, I say, thank God you're doing this diet now, because we all need to, you know. Also, the generator, sometimes we'll run it overnight, no more. So, in fact, we don't put the gen on till the inverter has run down. Then we put it on for a few hours and everybody go to bed. We put it off. No, we're just trying to readjust some of these things because the bills are coming. They keep coming and you're not making more to match the bill. So, before you realize it, you are eating from hand to mouth. I've been very broke till salary was paid. Like, I was broke. The little things I would buy, I was not buying anymore. Normally, I would like to have ice cream and pizza from time to time. I'll go and come back and, Mommy, you know, but I did not buy anything. It's food in the house, go and eat. You know, we all have to find a way to just survive this period.
Can I use this opportunity to appeal to NEPA? That, please, your system for prepaid meter, keep it running, because when your NEPA bill runs out, your NEPA meter, and then you try to pay, you can't pay.
Why?
You're asking me why? It's NEPA issue. Am I NEPA?
Maybe network.
You can't pay. Like the Keja Disco.
It's them now. Saying disco, Keja Disco. You will be trying. So like yesterday, we were trying. You will pay. The bank will deduct your money.
And so it was a system issue. Okay, it was a system issue.
You will see your token, so you have to go there and go and queue and be begging. Meanwhile, NEPA will run out. So you don't have light. You now be burning diesel because NEPA has run out. And this is not a time to be burning diesel.
At all.
So please, this is the problem we had with the Mefele. We are not having it with the Keja Disco. Do your system, let it work until your long. Nigeria is just frustrating. And you see, you are saying, okay, yes, I will tighten my belt. Yes, I will. We all want to tighten our belts. But they have to make it easy for you to tighten your belts.
Absolutely.
We have to actually even see them too tightening their belts.
Yes, so before we faint.
I don't want to see 100-car convoy.
Mbaso.
Stop it.
Where are they getting the fuel from?
I don't know.
There's no in this expensive fuel.
You know how me I buy my petrol? Since I came back, I've not bought. Okay, I've bought up to 10,000 once.
What? You're just feeling it but that's every 2 days.
No, I don't go. I'm not like you people. I sit there in my house. I don't go anywhere. Where am I going? What am I looking for? 30,000 to fill my tank.
I'm telling you, YK, I feel that tank.
I do 50K
35,000, and I just sat down. 35,000.
Only important places
to fill a tank.
Hope you didn't sit down in the field.
Hey, I just said, phew. What? You know, I went to the supermarket yesterday, and I saw a woman buying cereal boxes, you know, Frosties, the Kellogg's, and I'm thinking, wow, you are still buying this stuff? You are still in this space? I didn't buy. I'm like, I don't buy these things anymore.
So for me, it is that we would have, there are different sides to the conversation. As we're in the season, we're making sacrifices, and the government has asked us to make necessary sacrifices. The government has told us that subsidy is not sustainable. The government cannot afford it, so they took it out, and we must all understand. We said, okay. They say they're going to increase the bill for
Telcos?
power.
Okay.
Telcos too want to increase their own. Forex is now floating, which means that everything that you probably could buy before at a reasonable range adjustment for me. Prior to this season, I'd already cut off some, like when you mentioned it, Mariah mentioned that cereal, she does not do cereal boxes. I told my children, they beg me every day. We don't have I don't want to mention some particular names. I'm like, you are not going to get it, that is not going to buy it. You can beg him from today to tomorrow. I've told him he's not buying packs.
Which day?
You finished it in 1 week.
Wow.
Do you know how much one pack cost?
Wow.
I was upset when I heard him telling the house girl, I say, Mark, we are not buying sausages anymore in this house. Yeah. They should eat fish. Yes. They should eat fish. Like, I don't get it. We're not buying. Right. If we and that's the thing. We must cut off things that are
absolutely
week. There were 3 days that I only had cucumber and milkshake, and that was the only thing that I ate. And yes, I'm on a diet, but I'm already used to it. So if I'm not eating, my husband is not really eating, then my children should at least eat. So I make that, give them egg, give them meat, give them sausage, let them eat. But when you now calculate again, you'll be like, what is the I was talking to somebody in TVC very recently, and he was saying that, you are Olowolo diet. Olowolo diet. He told me, he said, Olowolo diet is person that has money that will diet. That some people, what they are wondering how the 2 kilo of rice, they are going to eat it over the weekend. So when our leaders, and when I heard it, it occurred to me that many people, once you attain a level of comfort, you have amnesia. You become comfortable, you don't remember what it feels like not to have enough to eat. Our leaders, majority, are largely, not even largely, are 100% comfortable. So they don't understand the impact of the policies on the lives of the majority. They cannot see it. They cannot imagine it. It's too far. They've left the season long ago. So when you expect them to say tighten belt, they'll feel like, as they make sacrifices like don't drink beer or cut down. I'm saying make sacrifices like you are portioning the food your children will eat. We need our leaders to understand the kind of sacrifices people are making.
Let me take this call from Shola, calling from Ikorodu. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, good morning,
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Good morning.
It's muffled. I can't hear you very well, Shola. Hello? You know, so you see, I don't want to stop the washing machine, because I know we need washing machine. I mean, everybody needs it. But I've written out all the possibilities, and it's on the list.
Mariah, there's a way you can do it. So before, my house girl was washing clothes every other day. I say no. We are washing clothes once. Like you will gather the clothes together.
This one they wash like twice a day.
Yes, and
in
then
my house.
You're not washing small items. You are washing, if you are washing twice in a week, and you gather the clothes.
That's why in my house
of 800 and something thousand every month.
And that's estimated. That one is
every month. That's
olden
when they
days.
want to be kind. When they don't want to be kind, we see 1 million. This how I will just look at the bill like this. I will think of my life, think of everything. But guy,
this is country.
Nigeria they bomb me.
I know. It's really about.
At the end of the day, if you have a 5 kg, and that was I'm an Ijebu girl. I'm calculating.
Big washing machine.
You have a 5 kg or 7.5 kg washing machine. You realize what they are loading every day. It's probably 3 kg, and the washing machine has capacity to sort out 6 kg. So if you do 2 days, you are doing all at once. Underwears, little items, wash with your hand. T-shirts, wash with your hand. Natives, wash with your hand.
So I'll separate them.
We batch things and there are priorities because and we can make this conversation now. For some people, it's a case of how are we cooking our rice? How are
let me pause you for a second. We'll come to
pepper that we are buying every day.
Pepper.
Don't even go there. Let me take this call from Shola. Don't even go to Pepe. Shola, thanks for calling from Ikorodu.
Yeah, thank you, Mariam. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, it's much better. Thank you.
Yeah. And sacrifice is very, very necessary. In fact, I listen to your own cutting down cost. It's very necessary because your own is a big man and big.
So it's a big man.
No,
I've been listening to them too.
Come to think of it. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Come to think of it, considering the speech of President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, honestly speaking, we need to pay sacrifice. Even the Bible says so. If when you go through the Bible, you will see how to pay price. There are price that we need to pay because of the road that has actually gone wrong in the previous administration. So this time around, we need to bear it, we need to pay the price, and we need to make a sacrifice. And I pray for that grace, the Lord will increase each and every one of us to bear it through.
Amen. Thank you, Shola. Let me go on a break. You know, we've been discussing how we can make sacrifices, but it's time for us to even advise our leaders the kind of sacrifice we would like to see from their end. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
It's not just where, but who wouldn't you want to work with?
Yes, that's on that angle.
So Laifa had a very, very interesting...
You wouldn't want to work with who?
There's no judgment.
No, and I respect,
they'll judge you definitely,
I respect
but we won't
this
judge
certain
you.
type of people. But what I dislike so much is when they tend to come to work and then they pour all their
resentment from
on you. Is it me that offended you? I'm not the one. I have no business. Mom just come and work with you, pay me at the end of the month, and let me go back to my house in peace and sleep. But when it comes to like divorced people, I cannot work with a divorcee. I can't see myself doing that. If I find out, if you can hide it or not, but if I find out,
when they are nice divorcees,
I would just.
What if they are nice?
Okay, now it depends. If you are nice, cool. But if you are the type that you don't know how to keep your anger to yourself, you always pour it on somebody. Well, I'll just drop my resignation letter, no matter the amount you're paying me.
So it's more passive-aggressive people.
Yeah, I can't do it. I'm so sorry.
Oh, definitely.
And I cannot work with stingy people.
See this one.
Because you cannot be passing me in the morning, afternoon. I can say, oh, hi, yeah, I'm working. Oh, yeah, take 100 naira, take 10K, take 15K. You don't have to be my sugar daddy or sugar mommy. See, the way you treat others is the way they will treat you outside. Yeah. And if you cannot treat your workers well, they are not a good boss. If you cannot be dashing me small thing or giving me donuts when I'm working, you are not a good boss.
This is 7 of 7. My name is OJ, and signing a sobriety into my hands tonight on this social experiment called the 7 of 7 is Owen G. What is the name, or what was the name? You see, I want to make them better now.
Rock Heart.
No, of the goats when they brought it on stage.
The name of that goat.
Yeah.
We should go there.
No, that one easy now.
I'm just drinking this so that I can ask him my own questions. It's not because of
Buga.
He didn't get it. You know. Okay. Mention 10 female stand-up comedians in Nigeria. See, just mention their stage name. If you annoy me, you will mention their real names and the year they started. And if you annoy me further, you mention the names of their husbands and the names of their children. Try me now. Okay, mention their name.
No, let's just.
No, wait. No, don't. No. Name, real name, stage name, husband name, children name. 10 of them.
Even the 10. That's a lot.
Eh?
That's a lot.
Did I cut your question for you?
Yes.
When you were happy now. With your hunchback.
That was it.
You are wasting time. We don't have time. See, my brother, before we go on a commercial break, you are stubborn. And I told you since. The fact that you play this your hair does not mean. You understand? See this bad hair you are looking at. It's experience. I've suffered before you.
By trying.
When you there during the military era of Abacha and Babangida, you know what happened?
I be Gen Z.
So that Gen Z, I will remove 4 out of 10.
That's like
4 out of 10 they pass exam. Don't drink this thing. Where baby you are on here? Drink out. If I land you.
Thanks for staying with us. We've been discussing how we have been making sacrifices, the changes we're making because of the huge sums of money we're having to pay for fuel, for groceries, for different things. But now, what are the kind of sacrifices we'd like to see from our government? YK said earlier about all the multiple convoys that are following all our leaders. We need to see them reduce that because we know the price of fuel is expensive. So where are you finding the money to pay for this fuel? I mean, if you want 35K between Lagos and between Lake Island and mainland, half tank it's already half tank. So how are they fueling this car? So these are some of the things Nigerians would like to see. But let me come to you. What are some other changes you'd like to see from our leaders?
I would, special advisor to special advisor. Senior assistant to special advisor.
Cost of governance.
Cost of governance has to come down. If you have special advisor, that's your work. You don't need any other assistant. Assistant to the assistant. Please, they should stop all that one. What do you call it? There's a word for it.
The convoy?
No, not the convoy. We have talked about convoy.
Yeah.
But it's so large. The people that are paying different salaries is so large. They need to reduce that so that we can see that. Because me, I've been sitting and thinking, how am I going to reduce my staff?
You have a lot, Abi?
Yeah.
Wow.
But if I reduce them, they will now not have. I'm displacing them.
Exactly, YK. That's the issue these politicians have. Because the same way you feel, they don't want to disengage those guys working in Shrine because they need. These politicians sometimes feel like all these are my constituent members. I just need to engage them somehow. So that assistant is because I'm also helping. I remember when my brother was trying to also run for, let's say, local government or something like that. The kind of he wasn't there chairman, no, he wasn't anything, no. But because he was just a known leader, the people they come to his house to pay children's school fees, and their father just died. They are constantly coming for one need. So how does he empower people? These politicians sometimes feel that all these special advisors they are saying is just to empower their political constituents. Sometimes that's what they do. So the same feeling you have,
if you are paying
they have
from
that
your
same
own
feeling.
Pockets, your own personal pocket.
And
You can, in fact, you can go and employ special assistant from every single local government in Nigeria. That's your own business. Pay it from your pocket. But once you're paying from government pocket, you cannot empower people.
They won't listen, no. These Nigerians.
No.
Our people.
So
once you enter government, they feel like you have national cake. They have access. They will come to you. That's the problem. Yeah.
Yes. Politicians get appointments and they start receiving text messages immediately, reminding them of all their bills. The moment they announce you, the moment they announce you, even you never receive the letter of appointment, but the moment they announce it and they see the papers, everybody will start calling you, greeting you, reminding you. This season that we are in now, the expectations heavy on politicians.
Sorry, let me tell you, ordinary MC work that I do for Abuja, they think say, me and president, we are doing chummy. I started getting half and half. You know, come on. Everybody here has to. I can beg you. So ordinary small thing, they just automatically think, me and the president are having conversations.
Yes, now we all think that.
That's the problem. That's the Nigerian mentality. It's sad.
We are copying the U.S. Democratic system, and I remember watching the interview from. Everybody that watched that interview, we were shocked when Obama and the First Lady, Michelle said that when they got into the White House, they realized that their food, there were meals that were covered by states, and there were meals not covered by states. There were parties covered by states, and parties not covered by states. Any extra that you are doing, you will pay from your pockets. So when you realize that people were hosting get-together, majority of those get-together were not powered by states, so they had to cut down on the hostings because the budget was coming on them and their salary was fixed. So when we are glorifying all those, what do I want my government to sacrifice? I want my governors and political office holders to stop getting extra code when they are traveling. The money, the dollars they are getting, all political, not ministry, civil service, everybody. If you are going on business trips, like they want to send you to travel and it is in the budget previously till now, from July, no training should be taking place outside Nigeria. Let us be trained within Nigeria because we are going to be saving a lot of effort. So that is one sacrifice that I want the president to say. Everybody from civil service to ministry to everybody.
Trained in Nigeria.
All our trainings are done within Nigeria and we're not taking the money outside. Okay, effects that we're going to go, people get money to do their treatments abroad. It's legal right now. Even our judges, our some hierarchy. It is in the law for them that they will get high-ranking officials get their treatments abroad paid for by the government. Okay, we have good hospitals in Nigeria. Our former vice president did a surgery right here in Nigeria. You can go to the several hospitals here to do your checkup. Don't carry dollar. So we don't have to do checkup abroad anymore.
Exactly.
Do it here.
So those are
sacrifices I want to see. I want to see them saying, I did my checkup here.
Those are what Nigerians will see today and begin that, yes, they are also making sacrifices.
The big cars that they are using. Because these are new cars that we see them driving. Stop it.
Yes.
Stop buying new cars.
Even the old governors that have gone, they should hand over their old cars to the new governors. Now, why they're not handing over?
The cars are supposed to be government property. And so after your position, you relinquish it. So let's differentiate it because I know some of them would say, if I was working in Shell, or I was working in Chevron, at this level, this is what I'll be getting. But that's a private company and a private organization. If you have chosen to serve, you must understand that you must serve in humility. You must serve in sacrifice. That's the meaning of that word.
Sacrifice.
Service. So you are here, you are the one that said you wanted to contest for whatever political position.
Begged you.
Nobody begged you. You chose to serve your people. So serve. You see those fuel. You know why most of them don't feel the impact of the fuel when we're looking for fuel up and down? Because the government makes provision for them to get it. They load tankers and, buckets for them, for their fuel. You should buy your fuel with your own hard-earned money. So if you're driving like that SUV,
but you have going on an official trip, Uncle?
See, so hold on.
Salary now.
So it's from your salary. That's one. Secondly, we should make provision. No, hold on.
No, but they give them.
for your personal cars, you're buying your
take your children to school,
your electricity, paying for your electricity bills, you know, taking your children to school, all of those extras,
the nannies,
necessary, all your nannies,
newspaper allowance.
Yes, what are you reading? Go online, you have data. Go online and read it there, or use your physical. You've been buying papers since I've known you on this show. Your own paper. You don't even wait for the one TVC supplies us. YK buys our own paper. Buy your own paper so that you understand. If you stay in that filling station, you queue for that fuel, you pay that amount of money, you fill your tank like I do twice a week. You will understand what we're saying. So those are some of the sacrifices we want them to show.
Yeah.
We understand and we are here with you. We should also make provision for buses, for our ministers and our commissioners and our governors. They should have staff buses. You don't have to drive luxury cars all the time, clog the road because everybody has their car on to go for official duty. They should have buses. You should be humble.
They have buses. Because I remember my commissioner. Wait, let me give you information. I know.
When Amosun was governor.
How many of them?
I'm just saying, I witnessed that one.
When they are going for official assignment together, they have buses. I know my own commissioner, I work commissioner for education, for former commissioner of Lagos State. She was visiting schools.
No, we change every year. We update yearly, and then we change laptops. We do all. There are many expenses that we make.
But what we need, Tokwe, is a proper. What we even need,
because we need operations.
What we need is a
continue.
What
it is extra that I've said.
What we even need is what you said earlier. We need a proper system in place for all these things.
Yeah.
You know, recently, should I mention it? Where I was in an event. There was an event that happened recently, and everything scattered. There was a lot of fights going on. Oh, you don't do this. This person doesn't know. They're fighting. And when I realized the problem is that there was no system onto who does what, how much is given. How do we decide who is the winner? How do we decide who's the loser? What are the metrics or the rubric we're using to determine? Every single thing should be systematic.
Yes.
So that as you enter office, just like you said, Obama was saying that I have. Because he's been holding for a minute. Sorry. Okay. I'm so sorry, Kelechi. Thanks for calling. Oh, I'm so sorry.
I'm really sorry. Sorry. There's room for maintenance. In business. Productive. So that's the way we will look at our country as a whole. That what would aid production? Trading abroad does not aid production.
At all.
It gives you. There's a huge sacrifice. The first, after they removed, you know, when he said subsidy is gone, and there was a lot of backlash. I remember reading that full article here, when he explained that he understands this is going to be a sacrifice for the country.
Tough one.
I would like a corresponding, now, this is the sacrifice we are going to make as a government. This is the cost that it will implement. This is the cost we are saving. So in metrics, and I don't think it's the president that should do that. We have the secretary, the SGF. That's the former speaker of the House of Assembly.
No, that one is chief of staff.
Chief of staff, SGF. The mix between the three key transportation, we will know that our government too may
See, this your foreign training thing that you said is a huge budget. Yeah. If I give you a clue,
yes,
the kinds of
this country for 25 years or 20 years, and at this level of service, you are due for training. That shouldn't be a problem. I'm not begrudging you.
But we don't have that.
But I'm saying we cannot, as a nation now. We can't afford it.
Because one of the reasons we cannot afford it, aside from the fact that I want to cut the budget, everybody's tightening belts, is the fact that all the ones
sacrifice. Let me take Kelechi. Kelechi is back. Let me take Kelechi. Good morning, Kelechi. Thanks for calling.
I'm so sorry.
Yes.
He is not serious about that statement. If he was serious, he would have started with himself. Buhari for 8 years told us that he knows what Nigeria is doing, but he never made any sacrifice as regards to that. If you invite me to a location, I'm coming all alone, and I will stay in an average hotel. I'm not coming with special advisors to deal with this person, with this person.
See the sacrifices on the side of government, as we are also as citizens deciding to make sacrifices. We have to wrap up.
The former president traveled to England for 3 months. He's plain frivolous.
All these expenses.
Yes, they should do away with frivolity. Someone here.
We have to run.
Cannot go for international. I'm going for my medical trip, but I am paying for it from my money, and he says it openly, and we believe it.
We have to see.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome the grand comedian of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Gbenga Adeyinka the First. OJ right here, 7 of 7, like you already know.
Gbenga right here, 7 of 7, like I'm beginning to know.
It's now time for the questions.
You don't scare me one bit. Bata, I go drink. So.
Okay. So now one chance for Inter. My first question. Do you remember the names of the winners of that edition of StarQuest?
Of course I do.
Why do you?
And I hate myself for this, because I have this question for you. Final question. No. Where outside Nigeria and what year? I think you're the only one that can be wicked.
I am thinking, because I know back in the day.
Don't think. Answer my question quick. You are thinking too much. I don't like it.
The UK.
Final answer. Okay. I said, God, please, let me to perform outside Nigeria.
Wait.
And God gave me a show in Ghana. Drink, my friend, drink. I know.
I don't overthink this thing. See where I can.
Yes, you overthink them.
I would say you should catwalk.
Let's catwalk now. Where are we?
No, that's not catwalk.
That's
good
good
talking. Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7. Thanks for staying with us. Join us now is the president and founder of the Women in Export Trade and Investment that's currently running some of the biggest projects and investments ever done by women associations in Nigeria, with a special focus on agriculture, export investments, and women financial literacy and inclusion. Join us as we welcome Edafe Hussein, well, probably known as Efe Hussein. Welcome to the show. Thank you. Good to have you, Efe. So you are big on export, agriculture. There's so much you're doing with women in that space. Tell us a bit about what you do and how you incorporated women into this.
Thank you so much. I wouldn't say we're big. We're the baby around. We just started within the last 5 months. But, you know, working with women has a lot of potentials, have a lot. I mean, you cannot get it wrong. I have been working with women for like 4 years. And then I noticed when I was in corporate employment, I noticed the huge potential that we have. Nigeria have very structured women organizations. And, but when we started going into the agricultural aspect, the export aspect, we found out that a lot of women were like, you know.
Reluctant.
Yes. But the statistics shows that we have more women, you know, in that regard, in that sector. So we decided to be deliberate about it. We decided to take, to push more women, to focus on their export abilities and capacities. So what we literally do is we aggregate women, we train them, we empower them, and then connect them to opportunities across the world. We search out the opportunities because the market is actually there. The market is there. It's for us to just organize ourselves and, you know, do the work.
So this is in agriculture, predominantly agriculture. So people are going to farming and they can export their products.
Oh yes, but we do not encourage export of raw materials.
Okay.
You know,
value addition.
Yes, you have to do some value addition to your product, and we, of course, we met the bottleneck of, oh, this packaging is bad, this packaging is wrong, this product content. So we had to take a back step to say, okay, we need to do some groundwork to ensure standardization of the products that our women are bringing. So there's a lot of work to do, but we're starting.
So as a woman now that I've gone into some form of production, and I'm looking around and wondering, how do I get my products across, you know, outside just Nigeria? I want to take them out. I've spoken to a few women exporters. It's really not something that they encourage you into. Like, there's a lot of, well, you will not see Forex, you will not do this, you have to sign this, you have to meet these agencies. Do you help women to cut out all of those? Do you handle the women as under you? So you come join the organization and then you help them with the processing and the sourcing of the markets that they have to, you know, sell to, or they still come and do the waka by themselves?
So first of all, what we do is to let the women come in if you are interested in export. And let me quickly add, we don't just do agriculture. If you have any good thing produced in Nigeria that will not kill somebody, and we can work with it, we can export it. Okay, besides oil, of course, crude oil right now. So what we do is let them come in, they register with us, then we also take like a survey of what they're producing. How are they producing it currently? We have a lot of women who are interested in production, but you know, it's a lot to set up a processing center. You mentioned someone that was doing a fashion hub. It's a lot to set up. So people are like co-sharing. Some people are using their homes, but we say to them, because of the purpose of export, even if you are using your home, it has to be a segregated portion of your home. It has to be dedicated to that work, exclusively to that work. So that when we have the regulators come, we can actually say it's a micro center, but it's dedicated for this purpose. So that's one of the things we're working with women. Then talking about regulatory experts, certification, we're also working with the regulatory bodies. We're identifying some of them that can come and help the women in clusters. You know, to make it easy, NAFDAC and the likes, and then, of course, internationally, FDA. And then we're able to buzz the bubble of FDA. People always, you know, when we started, it was a big threat. People thought FDA was, it would take you 3 months to the process. You need to get an agent. You need to, it sounded so giant like that. But by the time we started, by the grace of God, God gave us one beautiful, lovely, passionate Nigerian commissioner, former commissioner of Edo State Trade and Commerce, that was also passionate like us, and she took the matter into her hands. And today, we are able to get our FDA in one night, online. She just logs in with you. She is there in the US, you are here in Nigeria, you share your screen. She puts you through the process, and that night, you get your FDA. So, I'm telling you.
You know, it's, how did you get yourself into this? Like, how did you come into this space of running this program? Tell us a bit about your background.
Okay. So I was in corporate work. my corporate career in the bank, and then I had to start up the partnership desk for women banking. You know, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, this women thing started booming in Nigeria, and you know, women were beginning to structure themselves, taking some very daring, bold steps into some industries. And I met the coalition. There's a coalition of women association in Nigeria called ANWBN. And then when I met them, I saw that they had at least 4 million members. I was like, seriously? 4 million? Go and ask a politician what it is to have 1 million followers. It's a lot. You know, so I started asking, okay, so what are they into? Where are their data? What is this? How do you operate? Where do you operate? Where is your office? You know, and then, of course, we started strengthening 1 or 2 things that they were doing, you know. And I told them, I remember when they came to me first asking for finance, for support from the bank, my first reaction was, you won't get it. I just told them openly that you won't get it. And they were shocked. I said, you won't, because you're not structured. So that pushed me to say, okay, let me work with these women. They are willing, they are zealous, they're passionate. They have everything it takes. So let's work together. And then we started. But then I quickly also noticed that there are other areas, but this niche was there. And you know, Nigeria statistics tells us that about 75% of the people involved in agriculture are women.
Yeah.
And then agriculture is the largest employer of labor in the country. So if you want to talk about being deliberate about the export sector, where would you look? The women.
So that was. So what are some of the challenges you've experienced so far? You know, because it's never really easy working with all types of women. You have the farmers, you have those in the private sector. There's quite a number. What challenges have you faced so far?
People say it's really challenging to work with women. Yeah, but I have my ways. I have my ways with working with women. And the first thing is I understand that women are multitasking beings. A woman can run 9 shows at a time, you know, and they wouldn't understand why you don't understand that they can do it the way they want to do it, to make it happen the way they want, you know. But we're able to piece that down with women. Some of the challenges we have found, particularly related to export, you know, you guys were talking earlier about cutting down. With all that has happened in the country recently, trust me, a lot of women are hit. The businesses are, I pray for women every day. Power is a problem. Setting up, like I mentioned earlier, the centers for production is a challenge. We are currently seeking some form of partnership with the World Bank, with some government incubation center, so that our women can co-share. It also comes with its challenges, because when the women get in there, you know, we don't like to leave free things alone. You know, so you're supposed to grow and at a certain time
and mature,
move on, you know, but sometimes we find the women wanting to linger. So that's also a problem. Okay? And then you also find the part of women trying to cut cost, which you wouldn't blame them, but you would blame them also, because cutting cost is no way for anything that is edible. You don't do that. However, we also understand the stress, the strain from all that the economy puts together for us. You know, cost is a big matter. Then we go straight on to export itself, and you find that, okay, your price is not competitive.
It's too expensive or too... Well, I mean,
who are the women that you believe would be able to take advantage of your your platform?
Every and any woman. I always use the analysis of from the woman that roasts bole by the roadside to the woman that wants to build an aircraft. Yes, we can do this together. And then I encourage women, you don't have to own a product to join us. You don't. You can be interested and you can support what others are doing. For instance, we're setting up a packaging center because we found that even those that have very good products don't package well.
To package.
Because packaging too is another matter on its own, you know. So we are setting up a packaging center. There are very few of them around, so we're setting up some. So those of us that can, we're not interested in owning a product, we can actually support in setting up the packaging center and be a co-owner.
So now, like me now, that I created my own banana oil. There's no banana oil in the world right now.
Interesting.
And I would not just like us in Nigeria to have access to it. I want to be able to export my banana oil to the world, right? How do I get in? Do I just come in? Do I need to pay something to be a part of the organization? Do I need to be subjected to testing? So what's the process?
So first of all, yes, you can come in just like that. Just come in like this, okay? And when you come in, we can now look at, you send a sample.
Okay.
We can look at the sample that you have. And by the time you want to start doing business, you have to register. You know you have to register. We have 3 categories of registration, right? But we'll look at what you have. We'll look at the, notice it's one thing to have a good product, it's another thing to sustain it. When you export, we need to know that if a client says, I want more of this, we can get it. You understand? So we have to look at that. Of course, we have to look at, you talked about banana. Banana in Nigeria, thank God we have a lot of bananas. Yeah, but we need to be sure what species works. There are various species of banana. So which one works and to which country will it be acceptable? Some country, you'll be amazed how people choose food items.
Please, I want to ask you this question. You mentioned something in passing, and I feel like because a lot people watching might be wondering where would I fit into what you're saying, but in giving value, since a lot of people are going to be watching the show, what would you say is a few, maybe 1, 2, 3 key thing that a lot of women businesses or businesses don't take into cognizance that will make them not access fund? You said you told somebody, their group, that you won't get the loan. And there's something you saw that made you say they won't get the loan. So what would be 3 things you say we don't do as business owners that don't make people get loan? And what can we do as business owners that will make us access funding?
So first of all, structure.
Okay.
No matter how little your business that you're starting up is, structure.
Structure is ambiguous. Can you break down structure?
So when I say structure, who are the people in the business? Is it you, yourself, and your brother or your cousin, your sister, nephew? What are they doing? What are their roles in the business? So that if someone comes to you and say, okay, we want to support your business with 5 million, your cousin, nephew, niece that is working with you will not come and say, okay, my share from that 5 million is 2.5. We need to know what role they are playing and how the role works with the product or the business that you say you have.
Right.
And then sustainability of that business. We don't want to fund a business that in 2 years' time
it's closed down.
It's closed down.
So track record.
Track record, sustainability. And then even your capacity to manage business. What trainings have you gone through? What kind of business are you into? Is it your skill? Do you have the skill for it? You know, and is it scalable? Is it something that can grow?
Yeah.
I don't want to throw money as an investor into your business when it cannot grow. You can just continue to exist, but nothing is, you know.
We have to wrap up very soon, but I know you have an event coming up soon. Tell us about it.
Oh, yes. So we, like I said earlier on, we are the baby around. We just started like in barely 6 months. But we are having our official launch on the 29th of July. I am inviting TVC and The View. Please come. The 29th of July, and it's happening in Sheraton, Lagos, Ikeja. The reason why we want to have an official launch is to invite opportunities to invite all the stakeholders. You know, to come and see what the women are doing, particularly in export, and see how they can support and how we can grow. We are very, very open for learning and opportunities to know more things that we have to do.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's a
Well
pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you.
Hope you guys have learned a few things as we have. Have a great day. Happy Sallah to our Muslim brothers and sisters. Enjoy. Have a safe Sallah. Please protect yourself. Be very safe. All things that happen out there. We don't want to hear any bad news. But enjoy the season, and don't forget, sacrifice is the word of the season. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.